This might be one of the best folding smartphones going into 2024. This is the Honor Magic V2. Welcome back to the channel. You're watching me, Mkwan, here on Mkwan Reviews. Now let's talk about folding smartphones. Over the last year or two, we've seen many brands experiment with the folding smartphone craze, and Honor this time around are launching the Honor Magic V2. So this is essentially built on refinements to their previous generation of smartphone. And let me just say, like, I've reviewed a lot of folding smartphones over the years, going all the way back to the original Fold from Samsung. But this time around, what Honor have done with the Magic V2 is really quite commendable, and there are a couple of things that really stand out for me. Design, first and foremost, is really incredible. Number one, you can't feel this right now, but it is incredibly light. But the second thing, this is incredibly thin. I mean, just look at that. This is a folding smartphone. Now, this is in fact the thinnest and the lightest folding smartphone that you can currently get in 2024. And I have a few other devices here on the table. I'm going to compare it with that in a moment. But look, let's take the iPhone 15 Pro Max first. When it's closed up, it still looks very similar to a standard non-folding smartphone in terms of the outer display, and I find myself actually using this display a lot more, and then when I need the larger workspace or when I need a larger display, I can open it out. New S24 Ultra. Obviously the S24 Ultra is designed to be a larger device, but compared to that, again, you can see it's very similar in terms of the display when it's folded up. This is the other folding smartphone on the market, the Samsung Galaxy Fold. When the Fold is folded up, I found myself using it in the open format much more because this sort of outer display doesn't really feel big enough to kind of use on a regular basis. Now, when it's opened up, this is just how ridiculously thin it looks. You got a nice flush flat display when it's opened in this format. And again, just to give you an idea and compare it with thickness or thinness in this case, side by side, you can see just how much more thicker the Galaxy Fold is when compared with the Honor Magic V2. Now, in folding smartphones, a really important component of a device like this is the hinge. So Honor have made some changes to the hinge. They've essentially got a titanium hinge. Not only is it light, but it's robust as well. And I like the fact that the display on this actually opens up and gives you this flush effect. It's great when you're going to be using this in the open display area. There is a visible crease, but it's very hard to tell. But in terms of running your finger over the middle of the display, you don't really notice any sort of fold there, which is very good. Now, this display is very nice. Both the display on the front and the back are vibrant, they're punchy, and that means that when you're consuming media, you're playing games, you're really going to benefit from that display. Software-wise, what Honor have done is do something called parallel space, and this gives you the ability to use this larger display to get more done. So this is going to be great if you're going to be doing multitasking. You've got essentially windows that you can lock together in different ways, or you can have as floating windows. Very useful. And the fact that you can customize this also is a great help as well. Both the inside and outside displays are really good. They're OLED displays. That means there's nice punchiness to them. They're bright, and they're going to be great for viewing media, but also playing games. And there are a bunch of really cool features that Honor have incorporated within the software to help reduce the eye strain and fatigue as well. Now, right out of the box, this is powered by Magic OS 7.2 on Android 13. You've got, as far as the applications, you've got access to all of the Google applications right out of the box. There's a Google Play Store, YouTube, Gmail, whatever else you might use. You don't have anything to worry about when it comes to apps and the whole Android experience. In fact, on this, it's actually very good. So you'd assume that Honor would have compromised with some of the performance features given that this thing is so thin and light, but they haven't. Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 paired up with plenty of RAM and plenty of storage is what will power the Honor Magic V2. And that's, I think, for most day-to-day users, going to be more than adequate. But that's particularly important for the type of people that might benefit most from the Honor Magic V2. And I think that's going to be people that are entrepreneurs. They're very focused on productivity. Now, I see this device much more focused around productivity than I do on the camera, but that hasn't stopped Honor from including a pretty impressive triple camera setup, especially for a folding smartphone. That's made up of a 50 megapixel for the main paired with a 20 megapixel for the telephoto with 2.5 times optical zoom, and then a 50 megapixel for the ultra wide. Then on the fronts, you have the 16 megapixel for the selfie camera. Now, as you can see from some of these examples, the camera does a pretty decent job at capturing images, and you can see that everything from the ultra wide all the way up to about 2.5x come out really nicely. I think that 2.5 times optical zoom certainly helps get closer to the subject. It does have a maximum of 40x zoom, but images here are quite a lot noisy and granulated. But overall, the images taken both in normal lighting and in dim lower light do come out pretty well. Let me know in the comments section what you think of that. Now, as far as video is concerned, you can see here the example of video. Again, it's pretty smooth, very nice, taken with the camera. Let me give you an idea of what the front-facing selfie video is like. All right, forgive the barking in the background, but this is the sound and the video quality using the front-facing selfie camera. You can see here there's two modes. This is the 0.8, the ultra-wide mode, and then I can crop it in a little more at 1x. Let me know what it sounds like. Let me know what you think. This is currently filming 4K. 30 frames per second right now. Now, the battery life is also very, very good on this. I've managed to get about a day plus battery life, and that's with, you know, both of these screens being used while I was testing this. You've got a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, but it's an Honor silicon dual battery. So essentially two batteries in here to get you the most out of the use that you'll get with this form factor. Very, very good. If I had to pick criticism, there's no wireless charging, but there is the 66-watt wired charger right out of the box. So that means you're able to charge up fast and on the go. So that there is the Honor Magic V2. Let me know your thoughts on this device, and I'd love to know your thoughts just generally about folding smartphones. Do you think they're going to become more popular in 2024? Leave your comments down below. And for pricing and availability information, also check out the link in the description of this video. I'm Kwan. Peace and blessings. I'll see you in the next video over here. Take care.